Hello everybody, how are you doing? Well, it's a beautiful summer's day. I think it's the 20th, is it the 24th or the 25th of, I don't know. It's sometime in May anyway, 24th or the 25th, I forget. But I'm in a place called Silkstone, and the reason why I've come here today is because I happened to drive through here yesterday because I went seeing a friend at Cannon Hall. Went for a walk around the site. I've done Cannon Hall before. The video's on the channel if you're interested. Anyway, the path that the sat-nav brought me through was through this place. Now, I'd passed it many times, but not actually come off the road. And it's a place called Port Hamlet, but the actual village is called Silkstone. So it's spelt Silkstone. God almighty, have you heard him, that big bloody accent? Oh, he's got a bigger mouth than me. Anyway, it's called Silkstone, or it's spelt Silkstone, but it's pronounced Silkstone locally. Just gonna, oh, it's okay, they're moving. So there's a war memorial over to my left. We're gonna have a look at that on the way back to the car. There's a beautiful building there, look at that old school. But anyhow, I digress. So many years ago, on the 4th of July, 1838, I think it was, this area was big for mining, and I think it were called the Adams or the Collins. I'm not very well equipped today. I think they're called the Adams family. I'll put the correction in if I'm wrong. But basically, they were a big family in the area, had a big manor house and they owned many collieries, and they had many people that were employed in the colliery. Some children from 7 years old right through to 14, and then of course men and other people. There's a fella taking pictures over there. Anyway, on this particular day, there was a problem with the, what do you call it? There was a problem. They basically were told by the foreman, stay where you are, everything's fine. And they were like, no, we're not. We're going to, look at this by the way, everybody, isn't it beautiful? This is what I wanted to show you. So we're going to go this way because there's some kids coming up there. Right, so the kids, I believe, thought there was some sort of explosion. It was thunder. Anyway, when they got to the top of the shaft, they established that the river that runs by had basically burst its banks, and basically the water ran into the mouth of the pit as they were coming out. So these kids were swept up. There was a young one called Joseph, who was 7 years old. This is the memorial to it here. We're going to have a look at it. So Joseph was one of the ones killed amongst it, but these children died of drowning. It was really, really sad. And a lot of people died, not only children, but men as well. You know, grown men. And that's the Silkstone or Silkstone Pharmacy. But let's have a look at this monument, and then what we're going to do, everyone, we're going to have a beautiful walk around this stunning graveyard and find out what we can find. So it tells the story on the front here. It's Clark family, not the Adams. So this monument was erected to perpetuate the remembrance of an awful visitation of the Almighty, which took place in this parish on the 4th day of July 1838. On that eventful day, the Lord sent forth his thunder, lightning, hail and rain, carrying devastation before them, and by a sudden eruption of water into the coal pit of R.C. Clark Esquire, 26 human beings whose names are recorded here were suddenly summoned to appear before their Maker. Reader, remember, every neglected call of God will appear against thee at the day of judgment. Let this solemn warning then sink deep into the heart, and so prepare thee that the Lord, when he cometh, may find thee watching. And it says up here, take ye heed, watch and pray, for you know not when the time is. Mark, is that Mark 8, chapter 33, verse. So let's have a look at the names on the memorial then, everybody. So the mortal remains and are deposited in the graves as undernamed. First grave beginning at the north end, George Brinkshaw, age 10, Joseph Brinkshaw. 2 brothers, age 7. Joseph is the one that I was just mentioning to you, everyone. Isaac, oh God almighty, can you imagine that? Isaac Wright, age 12. Abraham Wright, age 8. It's fair to let you know, everybody, these children work 12 hours a day under candlelight, hundreds of feet below ground in these pits. James Clarkson, 16. Francis Hoyland, age 13. William Attic, 12. Samuel Horn, 10. Third grave. Ellie Hutchinson, 9. Or Eli. George Garnett, 9. George Simpson, 9. Fourth grave. Can't see with these bloody glasses on, everyone. George Lamb, 8. William Womersley, aged 8. John Turton, 10. John Gothard, 8. Let's have a look on this side. Nothing on the back, everyone. It's a beautiful graveyard, this. But I want to look at these other names first. Mortal remains of the females are deposited in the graves at the feet of the males and undernamed. First grave at the south. Catherine Garnett, 11. Hannah Webster, 13. Elizabeth Carr, 13. Anne Moss, 9. Second grave, Elizabeth Hollings, 15. Ellen Parker, 15. Hannah Taylor, 17. Third grave, Mary Sellers, 10. Elizabeth Clarkson, aged 11. She lies at the feet of her brother James Clarkson. Sarah Newton, 8. Sarah Jukes, 10. Just think about that for a minute, everybody. 7-year-old to 17-year-old working below the pit, in the pit, under candlelight, 12 hours a day, hard labour. Don't bear thinking about, does it, really? So there's many stories attached to this town. Port Hamlet, which is just down the road, it's like a shop now with all different things in it. You know, you can have like an emporium, I think. I've never been in, but I'm going to go. And Port Hamlet used to be an old glassworks, which was open in the mid-1600s. Now, the wife of the guy who opened it apparently is buried in here. I can't remember her name. Maybe I'll remember it when we actually get to it. But we're going to have our usual look round, everybody. We're going to have a look at this beautiful church. Oh my God, it's got some spectacular gargoyles on it. That is tremendous, that one there. Why the bleed now did I not bring my Canon to show you that? Because that is superb. It's a dragon with like a big massive mouth like Zippy. It's beautiful. The other ones are all worn, but that one isn't. I wish I had my Canon, I'd show you. Anyway, I want to start looking at this beautiful church. I think this is called... I can't remember the name of the bloody church. We'll get to it in a minute.
There's a window in the church in memory of the children.
Is there? Can you get in?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Do you mind if I film?
Not at all.
Oh, this lovely gent's going to let us in and have a look, everybody. Wow. Oh, look at this, everyone. Look at that fella there. How old is this church? Is it 1200s?
Been a church here since before the Battle of Hastings.
Never.
1066.
Good grief.
It's in Domesday Book.
That's right, because they came round for taxes, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they mentioned something about there being two tractors here, not necessarily tractors, or there was...
Yeah.
They'd made reference to the materials. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They wanted every penny, didn't they?
The oldest parts of the church as it stands about 14th century, late 14th
It's
century.
beautiful, isn't it? Are you a warden here then?
No, I just help out and just keep an eye on things.
Oh, and this door, how old would you say this door is then?
I would say that door is from the rebuild of the chancel and the porch in the 1860s.
And that ironwork beautiful, and I imagine that was a local blacksmith that would have done that.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
Can I go in then? Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
yeah.
lovely.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I would say it dates from that date.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Really kind, thank you.
Want a little tour or?
I mean, you're more than welcome if you'd like to, yeah. That'd be great. Look at this, everybody.
That's the font.
I bet that's old, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 1890.
1890.
And the Barkers, it's in memory of Reverend Barker's father.
Ah, right, okay.
The window is in memory of his mother. You can see his mother.
You can, yeah. October 1896, she was 87 years old.
His mother.
Mary Ann Barker.
Yeah.
Is she buried in this graveyard then?
No, she isn't. No. She'll be buried where she came from.
Okay.
Reverend Barker's buried here, but he was vicar here and at Dodworth for quite a few years.
Wow. So look at this. So those Slack,
Well,
Thomas Slack of Dodworth.
Yeah.
October 28th, 1810.
These have been taken. They shouldn't have been done what they've done. They're taking them off
The floor.
off the stone.
Yeah. I was going to say, because you get that a lot, don't you, in old churches, people buried within the...
So I don't agree with that, really.
No, I don't.
They put them on the wall, and I would never have done that. But they were off graves, you know.
Maybe they were worried about them getting worn away, but...
Yeah, I think down the centre aisle or in the chancel, you know.
Oh.
But anyway, we can't do anything about it.
And you don't know exactly where they came from, so you couldn't put them back?
No. There is one stone where that looks as though you can find the imprint of it.
But you can't make that assumption, can you, I suppose?
No, but it's a pretty good bet.
I'd say
it's
so.
the same size, you know.
Right, let's have a look round. It's a beautiful church.
Yes, it is, yeah.
And do you keep it open all the time then?
No, I open it when I come up. I usually come up most days.
Mm.
And if anybody wants to come in, you know.
Oh, that's really kind, that.
The pews are about 1820, the pews.
Wow.
They're about 1820.
Aren't they beautiful?
Yeah. But a lot of churches have had them removed, you know.
You know, it's quite common, isn't it? And mostly they just throw them away, don't they?
Yeah, but I wouldn't be in favour of that.
No, and these are in extremely good condition. They've been looked after well, haven't they?
Keeping out there with the church.
Yeah. And this list here is the benefactors.
Yes.
To Dodworth, John Brooke. So these people who were the benefactors, would they be like pit owners and...
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. The prominent people in the village, you know.
That's right, yeah. Oh, look at this.
That's the mining cabinet. That's a reminder of the days when coal was king in Barnsley.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people remember those days, but coal was very much the industry around here.
Beautiful. Well, they had horses down the pit, did they?
Oh yeah, pit ponies. Yeah.
Did they live down there all the time then?
Some horseshoes. Yeah, they used to have pit ponies, and the lads usually started work. They looked after them, you know.
Oh.
Yeah. And all these artefacts have been donated, you know.
What people have had.
Yeah.
That's kind, isn't it?
Yeah, very kind. The lamps, miners' lamps and the plates, and that's a representation of the old wagon way.
That's right, yeah.
You know, that pull the horses, pull the tubs. And then all these things to do with mining.
You know. Who's that fella?
Yeah. Yes, it was a tragedy. Flooded the pit very quickly, and they were drowned. They were trapped against a door.
Oh, poor little
They couldn't
buggers.
get out.
If they'd have stayed, because there was suggestion on that if they'd have stayed with the fella told, if they'd have stayed, would they have been all right?
Yeah, that's right.
But they thought there was an explosion, didn't they?
There's a booklet I'll give you anyway, and it tells you the story of it.
Oh, that's really kind. Thank you.
There would have been, but they were inexperienced. I mean, I think the oldest was 17 and the youngest 7.
Oh.
You know, so it would be panic, wouldn't it? You know.
Memory of Edwin Teasdale, born 1827, died 1906.
He was a schoolmaster, I believe.
Oh, that window's beautiful.
Yeah.
So did his family pay for that then, or was it the congregation?
No, the family would pay for that.
And then this, who was James Watson Brown?
He was an employee of the Clarks, who owned most of the pits.
Agent to R.C. Clark's,
the Clark name on the monument.
That's right.
That window's in memory of one of the Clarks. Most of the windows are. The big window, the west window, that's in memory. The east window, rather. That's in memory of the Clarks.
St. Stephen, St. John, I am the light. And this is where the vicar goes.
That's the pulpit,
yeah.
That's the pulpit.
Yeah. What's the number 16?
That's the pew number.
Oh.
Yeah. I think the pew originally used to be at the front, I think.
Right.
And they changed it. And they obviously took the pew out and put the
Oh,
pulpit in, you know.
it's lovely, isn't it?
But a lot of these pews, they have RCC, that's Robert Colwell Clark. These are before his employees.
Ah,
These are before his employees.
Look at
That's
this.
Woolley. And then Nabs Lane End, that's Silkstone Common.
wow.
And then quite a few, RCC, Oil and Suede. And his workers, his retainers that sit there, you know.
I've seen that in other, where else did I see it? Some families will have special pews put to one side as well.
Yeah.
That's actually, I'll tell you where I saw that, in Westbury Village, the church there.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
quite a few of these pews still have the names of the people.
Wow.
Because they paid for the
Sarah
pew.
Haynes.
They paid to sit in the pew.
On the outside, on the corner of the clock tower, it looks like a dragon with a
Oh, yeah.
wide mouth. I
Gargoyle,
couldn't see close enough. I'm going to have another look outside, but I love gargoyles.
Yeah.
There's
Quite a few on this church, actually.
Yeah, and unusual looking ones as well.
Oh, yeah, very much so. Yeah. That's the famous Green Man.
That's right, the Green Man.
At the,
That's unusual because he's a pagan god.
yeah. Oh, yeah, they are.
So,
But they were incorporated into churches,
Yeah.
you know, for symbolism, really.
fabulous.
There are a lot of superstitions.
What's in here? Is this a private chapel then?
This is the chapel that's dedicated to Stainborough.
Can I go in?
Yeah, of course. And that's the window I told you about in memory of the children.
Oh,
Yeah. So this church at Stainborough, that's it there. I don't know if you've been to
I've been to Stainsborough Castle, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you mean near Wentworth Castle?
Wentworth Castle, yeah.
Yeah.
That's deconsecrated now. I think it's an art gallery or something.
Well, I couldn't get in when I went. It were all closed up, so I just thought maybe it was a private, you know.
No, it's deconsecrated.
In memory
And
of Mrs. Helen Bagley, woman of the Right Honourable
Of Stratford.
Countess of Stratford,
Yeah.
before the late, who departed this life, Wentworth Castle. Right. Some of the people who lived at Wentworth Castle, the family, and that name does ring a bell, they're buried up in Westbury, in the graveyard up there. I don't think she is, but like the family from the 1800s definitely are.
Here, Mrs. Bagley's buried here under
The stroke of fate, the worst, worthiest cannot shun it in vain. We mourn thee with suppliants, mourn a heap of dust.
That's the old S.
Yeah, alone remains. But isn't it weird how
Yeah.
you've got an S there though?
Yeah, it is.
Maybe it was
I don't know how it works, you know.
Do you think it may be like a slightly different pronunciation then?
Yeah, probably. But she entered service at 12 years old.
She what?
She entered service at 12 years old. 38 years and she was 50. So she started working for the Countess.
Oh, I thought it was the Countess. It's not.
Yeah.
It's who work for her.
Countess of
Right.
Stratford, yeah. But
Wow.
Mrs. Helen Bagley, she's buried here actually.
Here?
Yeah, that's a gravestone there.
Wow, everyone, look at that.
Yeah,
There she is, yeah?
yeah.
Mrs.
Helen Bagley.
Helen Bagley.
So they thought a lot about it to bury her in the chapel, you know.
They definitely did. She must
Yeah,
be a lovely
it's in the
woman.
ages.
Oh,
Within
let's
the
have a
day.
look.
Within the
Oh,
day.
you can as well.
Yeah.
Wormsley
But it
8.
shows the water
William
and
Wormsley.
The storm and the coal seam at the bottom.
This looks like a fairly modern window compared to...
It's 13 years it's been in church.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was made in church and put together in church.
Oh, that's lovely.
By volunteers, you know.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. But there's a star for each child. There's 26 stars.
Oh.
No, it's not.
Well, it would be a bit of a waste if no one's here to see it, I suppose, wouldn't it? You know, especially with cost of energy nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got to be careful. Wow, this is amazing. Look at this.
That's Robert Colwell Clark and his wife.
The noble folk.
Their monument.
1842. So were they buried in this churchyard then?
They're buried in the churchyard, yeah.
Wow.
Families at the time. You know.
Look at this window. That is beautiful, that window, isn't it?
That's in memory of RCC Clark.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, look at this. Holy, holy.
Yeah.
How old is this roof then, would you say?
Well, this chancel was rebuilt in the 1860s.
Wow.
But the nave roof, that's 1400s, beyond the chancel.
It's gorgeous,
That's
isn't
the
it?
nave. We call that the nave.
That's
in
right.
the centre. This is the chancel. This is 1860s. This.
Stunning.
Yeah, the Clarks paid for it actually.
So did the Clark? Well, no, because the Clarks wouldn't have been around at the time because this church was built many years before then, wasn't it? But can I go in here?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Look at this, everybody.
This is the Wentworth Chapel.
Wow. Wentworth Chapel.
Wentworth Chapel of West Breton. The Wentworths of West Breton.
Wow.
Which
Look
is
at him.
now the Sculpture Park, Yorkshire Sculpture Park.
Can I stand up here?
Yeah. That's Sir Thomas Wentworth and Grace, Lady Grace. And that monument's 1675, that monument.
Wow, look at the clothes.
Yeah.
Look at his boots. Oh, it's unbelievable.
The armour, you know,
It's beautiful.
yeah. Yeah.
And look at his
Grace,
face.
she lived to 98 years old, Grace.
Did she?
Yeah. In the 17th century.
And look at her dress as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And she's holding a book. They reckon that was a sign of a learned person who studied, you know.
So she could write, she could
Yeah,
read.
Yeah. But that's all, that's the transcription. It's all in Latin.
Yeah, so you'd have to...
But you can see, just see the gold, can't you?
You can.
I mean, it would have been stunning when it was new. That's the coat of arms. And that's an helmet of Sir Thomas, because he fought for the king.
That's one of his actual helmets.
That's one of his helmets. He fought for the king in the Civil War.
Did he?
You know
Cromwell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roundheads and the...
Against the
he fought
Republicans,
against,
I suppose.
He fought against Cromwell and Sir Thomas.
And he wore that helmet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can't prove it, but we think he did.
Look at that, everybody. Wow.
But that's the vault behind the railing. Yeah. And these.
So are they buried in? They're buried in here.
They're buried in.
They're buried in there, but this is the monument to them.
Yeah. All the artifacts of war, you know.
Yeah.
Weapons and armour, etc.
And the armour.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's the graves.
It's one of the best monuments of its time in the country, you know.
And then look, the body of St Matthew Wentworth, late of Bretton Hall.
Yeah, those are the people who were in the vault, you know. So that all the names are on those tablets and on there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there's more graves here.
Yeah, that's William Wentworth, that one. He died in 1642.
This is amazing.
Mm.
No wonder you spend so much time here. It's lovely, isn't it? What's that?
That, you mean the...
Yeah, it's like a little lookout tower, isn't it?
Yeah. This is what they call the rood stairs.
All right.
Rood means cross. Rood.
Okay.
But it went up to a gallery which was above the screen, called the rood. That's the rood screen.
Wow.
This. And there would have been a gallery, a platform above.
Oh, I see.
And when the church was Roman Catholic, they did part of the service from above the...
Did they?
Yeah. But of course, when Henry VIII took over, a lot of screens were demolished, and
Church
this
of England
one survived actually, survived pretty much intact, you know.
So this is pre-Edward VIII. Henry VIII.
It's 14th century, yeah.
Oh my God,
That's
1400s,
the coat of
1500s.
arms. The coat of arms.
That's the Wentworth, isn't it?
That's the royal coat of arms.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, every church of England has to have the royal coat of arms to show that the monarch is the head of the church.
Never knew that, and I've done lots of churches.
Yeah, the monarch is the head
Never
of the
knew
church.
that.
Well, every church of England, they should have a representation of the...
Of course, yeah, the king, the royal.
The royal coat of arms. Some are a painting, some are a, you know, like that, a carving.
That's beautiful, that though, isn't it?
In some way, there is a representation of the arms. Royal
Amazing.
Coat of arms.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Yeah. I think this church is, dare I say it, it's even nicer than Westborough. I thought that, I mean, that is special, but well, this is...
Westborough's an old church, but is there two churches at Westborough?
Not that I know of, there's only the one, but it's beautiful, and you've got Sir Roger Rockley in there, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
He's in there, But, oh, it's two-sided as well, that.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I'm glad you've noticed that
Yeah.
because it's quite unusual.
It is.
You know, they used to be flat on the other side.
That's right,
again,
yeah.
because
Well,
they were
you'd
usually
assume,
They
yeah.
were usually against the wall, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that screen survived pretty much intact.
That is
yeah.
gorgeous. I
Yeah,
bet.
a
You know
lot
what? I
of-
bet that's priceless, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of screens didn't survive at all.
You know, it makes you think, doesn't it, about the ones that got taken out. You know, the ones that are lost forever. And this is why I like to come around churches because, I mean, the amount of it, the better the museums.
Yeah,
Let's face it.
absolutely. Yeah.
You know, they're living museums,
Yeah.
aren't they? And they
Yeah.
are absolutely
Yeah.
beautiful. So this,
Yeah.
I know James Brammer. He's the guy
Joseph
who
Brammer, yeah.
Joseph
Yeah.
Brammer, yeah.
Yeah.
And is that his? These are his.
Inventions, yeah.
Yeah.
Can
Was
you
he
take
from
a
here then?
photograph of that? Can you take a photograph of it?
I could take a filming of it.
Yeah. That's Jonas Clark of Barnsley and Noblethorpe. He bought the estate.
Which
so
one?
he started Silkstone. He
Oh,
started
right.
the coal mining.
Ah, did
And
he?
he bought the estate for the coal mining.
In the year of our Lord,
And he started
1822. Everybody, look at the look at the size of that key. My goodness, that is huge, and it still works in that lock there.
Oh, yeah,
Everybody.
absolutely. Yeah.